bike racers will compete for almost anything. And how about some Honey Stinger Orange Blossom Energy Chews? Yeah, we'll sprint for that. Actually, half the time in the preems, we don't know what we're sprinting for. But, it's usually hotly contested. Is it? I don't know. Look at this field here. We'll talk about this preem. We'll talk about a breakdown of the 45s race, Masters, Cal Aggie, coming up now. And welcome back, everybody, to another thrilling race video of the Cal Aggie. Yes, we do this one, 6 times, maybe 2 times a year. The event happens, but you could race up to, 6 times in that whole duration. 2020 Cal Aggie Masters 45 race. This is Tyler Janke on board with my camera. I'm a data-driven athlete. The plan here, lead out my teammate John Novikoff. We both have been pretty sick. We weren't sure if we were going to do it, but we decided to show up. Do a little race. Let's skip ahead and do just a breakdown of the last 3 laps, give you a little bit of idea. Folsom Bike had a bunch of riders out here for this race. Mike Sayers was out here. Jason Graffath of Thirsty Bear was out here. There was, let's skip ahead though. 3 laps to go. The plan here, they rang the bell. There's 3 laps to go. I look up and I'm like, preem everybody. And no one was taking it seriously. So I'm not going to let someone just roll across the line without it. So we had to do a little bit of effort. Got myself some energy chews. Pretty thrilled about that. What it also did was 3 laps to go, just set myself up on the front. So I repositioned John, my teammate. I'd already told him, hey, take a look. Get on my wheel. We're just going to float around with me. No brakes. It's stuck for the day. One big heavy hitter was Jason Graffath, who had won this race in the 45s the last 2 years, I think, in a break. So he's always dangerous because he has a motor. He has a decent sprint too. So there he is over on the right. Another one was Mike Sayers. Mike Sayers, former pro. He's racing in the 45s. I don't know how much training he's doing, but he's always dangerous. So you have to watch him. And he can sprint. He can beat you in a sprint. He can kill you in the long lead out. There he is right there, go on the break. Like I said, Folsom Bike had a bunch. And then there's John and I, my teammate John. John can win in a sprint. This sprint is perfect for him because it's long drag. And if we get a jump, he'll stay with me, and that's my plan. So my plan is to jump before the last corner, drag him along, basically lead him out from like 500 meters. But we also know that Mike Sayers can win that way and go early. So I'm definitely keyed up on him. So we don't know what's going to happen with Folsom Bike. With Jason Graffath, he's not going to win out of a field sprint, but he is definitely a guy that can take a flyer with a lap or 2 to go. So we always have to be watching out for that. As you can see, the race here, a little bit of lined out. And we're just going to try to, maintain our position. It's not a huge field. And this race is so, you've probably all seen this race. This field is this course is so wide open. It's easy to jump around. It's easy to, as you can see, all of a sudden it stacks up here 4, 5, 6 wide. It's easy to get pinched in, but it's also easy to get up. So, which means the only really thing to do is to be able to drive the pace so hard that people can't come around. And that really doesn't happen on this course, except for you see it on the P12s. Racing at time. So we're going to come in here with 2 to go and be obviously weary of what kind of moves are going up the road. Like I said earlier in the day, Rich Hufford of Folsom Bike, Folsom Bike, they sent him up the road a few times. It's come back. They have Anthony Brantley who can sprint. They have Rick Reinert who can sprint. They have Cam Walker who can sprint. Wilson Goro, he could lead him out. I don't know how I think he sprints as well as those guys, but he's definitely got some pop on him. They had Anthony Brantley, who his bike right at the start just shut down. I think it was a DI2 issue. Hey, go to your shop. You're sponsored by a shop. You should get that taken care of. All right, 2 to go. With 2 to go, we're hoping it's just the impetus here should be Folsom. Folsom has all the riders. They can do a lead out. They have a decent sprint. This guy over here on the left, I think it's Victory Velo rider from Auburn. He takes off and gets up the road a little bit, and you're going to see some guys start to chase him and to get a break moving and going ahead. Now, look, what is my thinking here? This was my team, I would send, if you have a big team like Folsom, I'd send a guy up the road with him and then make everyone else chase. So this guy goes up the road and maybe you can latch on, get it connected. And so I think that's what you're going to see here with Rich. And there he goes, Folsom bike rider. He's going up the road, and you're going to also see Graffath at some point try to bridge up with him. So look, this is actually, that'd be really good for like Folsom. They've got Rich up the road. He's a beast of a rider. He can definitely solo the last few laps. Matter of fact, I think in the early stages of the race, he had already been soloing. I was trying to pay attention from the back of the field. He had soloed for a few laps already. I'm not sure who brought it back. Probably Jason or some of the other random riders that were trying to get up to him or breaking away. This race for me was not pretty. It was a lot of time spent kind of near and around, just hanging out. You can move up, like I mentioned, there goes Jason. Move up fairly easy. So Jason goes, and Sayers kind of acts like he's going with him, but he's just kind of riding on other wheels here because we're going to be coming into the bell lap. So Sayers is doing the thing of just staying up close. Point is, I was hanging around watching John chase some things down, my teammate, and not doing really much myself. This is a short race, about 40 minutes, so it wasn't all that difficult to kind of hang out. And then, last few laps, still had plenty to get up there and to help him out. So that's the thing. And now you're seeing here, I could end up wasting a lot of energy. I'm not too worried, though, because this pace has not been on all day as far as overwhelmingly difficult. My legs are fine. But you'll see me spending time out in the wind, not necessarily on people's wheels. A lot of that is just making sure I'm positioning John, who has to be protected and out of the wind and in the right spots. Okay, so up the road, we're going to come in here to the bell lap, and things are getting turned on, and it'll be interesting to see who brings this back, because Rich is up the road. What I would do if I were Folsom, I would just sit near the front and say, hey, anybody else, so one lap to go, anybody else can chase this down. But they decide, maybe the thinking is he's going to get beat by Jason or whomever else is with them in that break. So Folsom decides to bring back the move, and which is perfect for us. So this thing's getting lined out. We don't have to worry. Jason Graffath is going to come back from that break. Rich Hufford, who's a strong rider as well, he's going to end up being brought back from that break as long as this pace continues. So about half a lap to go, 3/4 of a lap, I guess. My thinking in here is, okay, I want to get up before those chicane. I want to get up as close as I can to the lead out. So we'll step out here, get out in the wind, make sure John's protected, and boom, look at that. Mike Sayers pops out. Oh, this is ideal. This is exactly the guy's wheel I want to be on. Now, Mike is so smart and savvy. First of all, he's super strong, but he starts yelling around here at the Folsom bike guys. I don't know if they know who's yelling or if they play into it, but he starts yelling at them, go, and they're going. So they're almost bringing their teammate back. Perfect. As well as Jason. Now, I don't know if they were actually bringing it back, if he just kind of started doing a pull out there, but he gets peeled off, and here's Sayers once again yelling at them. Now, I want to be able to go right between this corner and those trees coming up. Not feeling good at all, but I see this, and I'm like, I know what Mike's going to do. Oh, he's going, so I've got to do everything I can to keep my distance to him as close as possible so that John can connect. We're going to have this last corner and then a long sprint to the finish. But look how long Mike's already been out there pushing, max sprint as far as he can to get his distance. So just do as much as I can and then hand it over to John. Right about here. There he goes. Now, John puts on a huge turn of pace. You can see the gap that he has on the other guys just sitting down trying to go, where he's sprinting, standing up out of the saddle all the time. Now we'll switch to the front camera, someone at the finish line. You can see the gap John is able to create, and then the distance he's able to get. Post up. I was pretty thrilled about it as well. I had posted up in the background. And there you have it. John Novikoff winning the 45s with a nice post. Look at me in the background. Double post. John Novikoff, Mike Sayers second, Cam Walker third, Jason Graffath fourth, Rick Reinert fourth, fifth, Greg Chapa. Congrats, John. Thanks, everybody. Till next time.